It is Monday, April the 5th. Yesterday was Resurrection Sunday. A phenomenal day for me. I hope it was a great day for you as well. Not only did we have a great service yesterday, but I got to have lunch with my wife and my son and my future daughter-in-law and my daughter, and we got to FaceTime with Brittany and Elijah over on the other side of the world. So it was a good day. I told my kids, I said, you can tell when old age is setting in, because, you know, just getting to be with your kids is plenty. It's just all you want, you know. Just getting to see their faces makes your day. And that was certainly the case for me yesterday. And I hope you got to spend time with family, people you love. You know, family's not only the people you're blood related to, you're genetic related to. Family is it's your church family. It's the people you're close to. It's your small group. We talk a lot about adopted family, but we're all adopted into a family. And so I'm so thankful for the opportunity to get to do that, be a part of that. So yeah, I see that there's 5 of you on. I don't know who all 5 of you are, but 6. There's still some people jumping on here. I know I didn't announce this ahead of time, and so a lot of folks didn't know, and so you're probably going to watch this later. Many of you are at work right now, and I totally get that. But yeah, hopefully you're able to see this here sometime soon. But we're going to start back with our live videos. We started back when the pandemic first started, and it was just, you know, people weren't able to come to church, and so it was a way to interact. And we were still live streaming our services, but you weren't seeing faces, and so live streaming was a way to connect in a way. Of course, at the very beginning, we weren't, you know, small groups weren't meeting, our church services weren't meeting, and so we did it really all the way through. I mean, we've got Facebook, or we've got Lunch and Learn live stream videos that go all the way into September. And September, I don't know if you remember, we started talking about, you know, we're bringing normal back as much as possible. We're restoring as much as we can back to normal. We started having breakfasts every 8 weeks. We brought Lord's Supper back. We had a tailgate party there right around that time. And so yeah, we restored our Crossroads University, our 9:30 hour, bringing normal back. And so as we started bringing normal back, our workload started getting a little bit bigger and a little heavier. And so, yeah, that just kind of became a bit of a challenge. Yeah, if you're on, give me a shout out. I'd love to hear from you. But so yeah, they just kind of trailed off, and we were doing several things that I really do. I really enjoyed doing and getting to do and be a part of. And we just, as we started restoring normal in so many ways, it just made us busier. And so it was harder to, I wasn't here in the office to do Facebook Live videos as much as we were able to then. Hey, Rachel, good to see you on here. And so yeah, anyway, but we're bringing those back. I'm going to try to bring back these Facebook Live videos, or what we called, we'll probably still call them that. You know, if I come on live around noon or 12:30, we'll call them Lunch and Learns. And then if I come on live around 5:36, we'll call them drive times at Crossroads, or just drive time. And hopefully, people are able to listen or watch while they're driving home from work. And if you're driving, listen. You don't have to watch. But yeah, so first of all, great way to help me is if we're going to do lunch and learns around the lunchtime, is it better for you or work better for your schedule if we do noon or 12:30? Noon or 12:30? Put it in the comments as you're watching the video. Noon or 12:30 at lunchtime. Now, there may be times I can't come on until 1. There may be times that I just don't come on at all. We're looking at about anywhere from 3 to 5 a week, as long as there's something we want to talk about. I've got 5 planned for this week. I don't know if I'll get to all 5 of them. I don't know if my schedule will allow for all 5. But yeah, we're going to try to do that. So, but yeah, so noon or 12:30, it may not always be at that time, but let me know which time is better for you. And then if it's a drive time video, if it's a video where, while you're preparing dinner, you're watching it live, or while you're driving home, you're listening to it live, or, if we were going to do a drive time video, in the evening around 5:30 or 6, drop it in the links, drop it in the comments below. What would be a better time for you? 5:30 or 6? Again, I may drop one at 7 sometimes. So it may not always be possible, but I'd like to know what is the best possible time to catch you all live. And so some people may be asking why we have got a lot of different channels of communication. And we really have kind of intentional purposes for each of them, because there's not one tool that works for everybody. I really, really wish there was, because it would make things a lot simpler on us. It would take us a lot less time. We would spend less time trying to communicate and just more time communicating. If we could, if everybody was on the same wavelength. But so if you're new to Crossroads, you may not be aware of this. So this is really just kind of an informative video to help you out. But we have several different ways that we communicate with our attenders and our partners that are connected here at Crossroads. Obviously, as we're doing this Facebook Live video, we have a private Facebook group that we use, and this group is really specifically and intentionally for a few purposes. One, it's the easiest way to connect with newer people. Most people have Facebook. And so it's the easiest way for us to be able to send a friend request and add people, or people add themselves into our private Facebook group, so that they can be connected. They don't have to download an extra app. They don't have to give us their email. They don't have to do anything like that. They can just find our Facebook group link and then join our Facebook group. And then they get all the communications that we put out on the Facebook group. So the Facebook private group is, first of all, the easiest way to connect with new people, because most people have Facebook and they're able to navigate to find the link to get to the group. 2, Facebook is interactive. It's easy for us to go live with a Facebook Live video. So it's easy. It's easy to go live. And it's also interactive in that anybody in the group, if you're a member of the group, you can post to the group. So if you have a prayer request, you can go right to our Facebook group and post. If someone posts a prayer request or a praise, everybody in the group can comment on it if they would like. And it's not, there's not intrusive text dings. We used to use an app called GroupMe. And and when we post a prayer request on there, a lot of people like to let you know that they're praying for you. And so people would post a prayer request, and then 30 or 40 people would say, we're praying for you, thinking of you, praying over you, praying, or they'd post the praying hands. Well, every one of those messages created a ding. And GroupMe was one of those tools that it works just like text messaging, and so it created a ding, and we had we had a few people complaining they were having to mute the app and they were muting everything on the app because they were either being annoyed or other people around them were being annoyed by their phone blowing up. So we went away from GroupMe for that reason. Facebook group is not intrusive like that. You don't get dings every time somebody comments or posts. And so you just get notifications on your phone, and a lot of folks like that. So our Facebook group is our interactive group of the whole church. So you can post, you can comment, we can go Facebook Live. It's just very interactive. So all of our announcements, everything that we post anywhere else, we post in the Facebook group as well. But not everybody has Facebook. And so we have our church app that we would love for everybody that's attending or a covenant partner here at Crossroads. That's the app that we would love for everybody to have. It's an app called Church Center. Go to your app store, download Church Center. If you've attended here, if you've given us your phone number or your email address, if we've got you in the database, when you go to Church Center, you should be able to look up our church in Church Center. So you open up the app. The first thing you have to do is look up our church because it's an app for a lot of churches. And so if you're near the church, it'll show you the church. But yeah, Crossroads Church, be able to look us up. Our website is directionforliving.com. If that's the best way to look us up. Our address is 900 Northwest Jefferson Street, Grain Valley, Missouri, 64029. If you need to look us up by the address, but hopefully it'll pull up churches that you're close to, and if you're here in the Grain Valley area, it should pop up Crossroads pretty easily for you. But anyway, get logged in, and once you're logged in, that app is we communicate. We have a group called C2 Alerts and Reminders, and that is set to where no one gets every once in a while we post something that we want your feedback on in there. Most of the time, if we want you to comment or we want your feedback, we're going to post it in the Facebook group. Most of the things that we post in C2 Alerts and Reminders, we have the replies turned off. So in groups, there's a group messaging feature for every group, every ministry team. If you're a part of a ministry team, if you're a part of a small group, if you attend midweek, any of those things, if you're a part of one of those things, or if you're put in C2 Alerts and Reminders, there is a messaging piece to that. So when you click on the group, it automatically opens you to the messaging tab of your group. And so we send out messages to all of our ministry teams through Church Center. We send out messages to the church, church-wide in C2 Alerts and Reminders. We send out messages to, if you're a parent of one of our children that are 5th grade and down, we have a group, I believe it's called C2 Parents at Home. And that's the group that we communicate things to you about things that are going on with your kids. We post helpful links and resources to you as you're parenting and discipling in your home. So we have that group for that. So yeah, any group that we have, any ministry team, any group, any communication group, any small group, all of those things, there's a messaging feature within that group if you open up the app. And so we communicate a lot through that. You can also use the app to give electronically. You can use the app to find a group. There's a directory built in to the app. So you go into the app and click the tab, the directory tab. The tabs are at the bottom. And I'm actually on my phone right now, or I'd show you. But if you open up the app, it will. I'm actually going to open it up on the church phone here, and but yeah, if you open up the Church Center app, it's down at the bottom. You've got groups, give, and then calendar. If you click the calendar, that should open up every event we've got on the church calendar wide. And then there's a more tab right here. And if you click more, then that'll take you to SignUps. So any event that we're trying to get a head count for, of who's going to come, whether it's breakfast, whether it's an Easter egg hunt, whatever, anything like that, we're gonna put in SignUps. And so you can sign up by going straight to the SignUps tab. And right now there's nothing to sign up for, so it shows up that way. Also, there's the directory tab, and that will then show you a directory of everybody that has given permission for their information, for their name, their phone number, their email address, their family connections to be listed in that directory. So if you have not, or if you see that someone, I would challenge you to open up that directory and see if you're in there. If you're not in there, if you don't have access to the directory, let us know. All we have to do is click a button and invite you to that directory. But if you go into that directory, it may be that you've not given permission for your information to be put on there. And so what you do is you go into the directory, and then if you click the icon at the top right corner, it should be your like a head, and so it brings this up, and then you check off what information you want. So Oscar Pewsetter, if you ever see Oscar Pewsetter, he's my test member of the congregation. We test a lot of things before we roll them out by using Oscar Pewsetter. And so I have Oscar Pewsetter. I'm signed in as Oscar Pewsetter on the church phone here. And so you can go in and you can add your photo to the directory, so people can, when they see your name, they can associate a name with a face. And then you can add your photo by just clicking on that photo there. And then also if you have your My Stuff, so you can check out your giving, the registrations you've signed up for, the groups that you're in, or there's a setting called My Directory Settings, and that's right there. And so it will open you up. And then you can select whether it shows your name, and then all of Oscar's other information, whether your directory listing is going to include your photo, whether it's going to include your phone number, your email address, or your address. And so, if for some reason you don't trust the folks in the congregation with your address, you just simply click on that icon right there, and then it disappears. And so your address would not appear in the directory. And so, or if for some reason you don't want people in the directory emailing you, you just simply click that and turn the email address off. But that's a great way for you to, and then you have to, once you're done, you have to click the update button up there. But that's the Church Center app. And so yeah, there's signups, directory, and check-ins are all on the, by clicking the three dots down here. So only 4 tabs fit across the bottom: home, groups, give, home, groups, give, calendar, and then signups, directory. And why do I have to keep turning it around? And check-ins are all, so the check-in feature is, if you're coming to church on Sunday morning, you can go to check-in and you can pre-check in your family for the service that Sunday morning on your way in. So you spend less time at the check-in counter when you get here. So that's a really great feature. On your way to church, moms, dads, go to your app, click the More button down here, click on check-ins, and it will show you the Sunday morning service, and then you just check in for the Sunday morning service. You have to be close. I'm not sure if you have to be within 1, 2, 3 miles of the building or in the parking lot, but again, you can get checked in, and then when you come in, I'm not sure exactly how it works. I'll have to ask Bonnie or Mike or Daniel. They know more about it than I do. But if you pre-check in when you walk into the building, it prints your labels out for you, and you're good to go. You don't have to check in. You may just have to on your app say, "I'm here." I'm not sure how that works, but anyway. So the Church Center app really is kind of the nervous system of our church communications. It's how we communicate to ministry teams. It's how we communicate to our communication groups, like our C2 alerts and reminders and our C2 parents at home. And then it's also how most of our groups, most of our small groups communicate within their groups. And there is a way to do two-way messaging. So you post, you start a message, you give your message a title, or you start your thread, you give your thread a title, you post your message, and then everybody can reply underneath that thread. It really is a great feature because you're able to go back and you're not scrolling through a whole screen of messages trying to find what you're looking for. You look for, if the subject was midweek dinner, and then you just go to midweek dinner and then look down through the messages for whatever reply or whatever message you're looking for. Church Center is the heartbeat. It is the nervous system of our church. And so everybody, if you're planning to be a regular attender, a regular participant, or a covenant partner here within our body, you want to download the app Church Center. And it's free. And again, the hardest part really is getting signed in, finding the church and then getting signed in. And once you're signed in, if you're already part of a groups, you already show up in those groups. You don't have to join any other groups in that. So that's the purpose of Church Center. The purpose of our church, our Crossroads Church Facebook group. Again, that's a private group for interaction. We do have a Facebook page. We don't post hardly anything for the church family on our Facebook page. We do post we broadcast our services live on Facebook, on the Facebook page. That's a public page, and then we have a private group that are sometimes not real tech savvy. Sometimes those things can be confusing. So I just want to make sure and clarify that. Our Crossroads Church Facebook page is a public page. So that's for people in the community to be able to connect with our church. It's for them to see when we're having services. We do post several memes and quotes and things on there. We post our services live on there. On the Facebook public page. It's just a great way to get the word of God out there and to put good thoughts out there just for people in general that might follow our page but don't necessarily come to our church. In our Facebook group, we also stream our services live to our Facebook group, and we stream our Sunday morning Crossroads University. We stream that to our Facebook group. Only the services go to the live public page, but Crossroads University in the auditorium or in the worship center at 9:30 and the 10:30 service are both streamed live in our private Facebook group for our church family. And so that's the difference between the Facebook page, the Facebook public page, private group, and Church Center. And then we also send out emails because some people aren't on Facebook. They're not part of our Facebook group. They don't have our app downloaded. and so they don't get those messages. And so there are some things like today's message about the live stream. I posted it on our Facebook group. I posted it in our C2 alerts and reminders group in Church Center, and then I also emailed it out to everybody that's in our C2 alerts and reminders group in Church Center. So if you saw it in all three places, great. You're one of the few people that are connected across platforms. A lot of our folks don't connect in one or more of those platforms. We also communicate through weekly announcements. Every Sunday, we have we give you the link to directionforliving.com/announcements. And that's a newsletter of all the announcements for the week. It's the way for people to fill out communication cards, and post prayer requests and things like that, comments about the service, things that are going on that day, links to other things, links to resources for your children. Those are posted there. Special announcements. I know yesterday there were several things in the one that we posted yesterday, and so our weekly announcements. I was just getting ready to pull it up. Just to see what else is on there, but yeah, it's a welcome. There's an invitation to sign up. You can click the link and get signed up for baptism. They're also informing people about our new our mask only venue, and then again there's the first time guest connection card. There's a communication card for regular attenders and partners. There's an update my church center profile. If your phone number has changed, if your marital status has changed, if your address has changed, you can go in there and update your church center profile so that we have your accurate information. You can also do that in the app. Go to yourself in the app and go to your directory profile, and you can change and update that information in there as well. If you're looking to serve, if you're wanting to get engaged and get involved and serve, there's an I Want to Serve link. You click on that. That'll take you to a form that you fill out and check off the ministries that you would like for someone to contact you about. In order to get connected in serving in the body. There's a link to give, our ministry shout outs, our Crossroads University signups, Kidsmen resources. Again, we want to give you resources so you know what your kids learned on Sunday morning. And so there's a link to that. So you can do that. There was something in there about the Easter egg hunt. There was something in there about our work as worship retreat. It's a 1-day retreat coming up. And so that's in there. And then there's a whole list of dates called Save the Date. So you can put things on your calendar and know what's going on at church, so that you know what to be involved in, what you want to be involved in, what you don't, and then you don't schedule something over the top of it. So we give you a list of those dates and things so you can get involved. Other resources, links to how you can pray for your church family. We have an online prayer list that you can pray for one thing every day about your church family and church ministry. One day you might pray over the elders. Another day you might pray over a specific ministry. Another day you might pray over our family ministry, our ministry to and with families. So there's a list, a prayer list. That you can break down into a 30-day prayer list. They're numbered in 30 days, and we even show you if the month has 31, here's what you pray for on the 31st day. And so there's a link there for that, and then several other resources that we try to make available to you, and know that you know how to get to those things. So that's our directionforliving.com/announcements. We send that out by email. If you're on our email list, we send that out by email. We post it in Church Center. We post it on the Facebook group. We post it on the Facebook page. So you have access to that every Sunday through one of those links. You don't have to use the QR code in the service to get to that. We make it available in every venue we can possibly think, including the QR code on the seat in front of you and on the screen in front of you. And then on Wednesdays we send out what we call Over the Hump. It's just some reminders of things that are coming up that weekend to get you thinking about Sunday, to get you thinking about preparing the end of your week for Sunday, preparing your heart for Sunday, and then again, just the idea, the fact that Sunday morning announcements we've forgotten by Wednesday. And so just to reiterate some of those for you, we also put some different things in on Wednesdays that we don't put in on Sundays, like an offering report. Our offering week goes from Tuesday morning, 12:01 a.m. Tuesday through midnight on Monday. And so our offering week doesn't end on Sunday. It doesn't start on Sunday, it doesn't end on Sunday. That's just kind of the way online giving works. And so we've made our offering week 12:01 a.m. Tuesday through midnight Monday. And so then on Wednesday, we post a report so you can see how we're doing financially, where we need help, where we need assistance, or you're able to, as we have been able to in the last several weeks, just praise God because of what He's doing and how He's providing through the faithful giving of our folks here at Crossroads. So there's some things in the Wednesday night Over the Hump that you don't see on Sundays. There's things on Sundays you don't see on the Wednesdays. Sunday announcements that you don't see on the Wednesday Over the Hump. So they are different, but some of those do function as reminders. But some people don't like to read. So they don't read the announcements. They don't read the Over the Hump. They don't watch the screen above them on Sundays because they're talking, they're engaging, and so if it has more than 10 words in it, they've tuned it off. So some people like video, and so so that's why we're doing the Facebook Lives, is because there's just important things we need to get out to you all, and there's just not enough time on Sundays to do that. We're trying our very best. I don't know if you've picked up on this and noticed this, but we are trying our very best. We just don't make announcements on Sunday. We really work very hard on Sunday mornings to make our Sunday morning worship experience about God. We're here to make it all about Him. It's not about us. And I am the one that gets up in front and makes the announcements sometimes. And if you could stand in my vantage point or ask a worship team member, when the congregation, when I get up and I start making announcements, or anybody, when anybody gets up and makes announcements, it's not just me, but when someone gets up and starts making announcements, people's faces just glaze over and they just kind of go into zone mode, or they open up their Facebook, or they start doing different things. And it just, there's no good time to put announcements in the Sunday morning worship service. We start with music, or we start with a call to worship. We go to worshipful music where people are pouring their hearts out to God. We're asking God to do things in our lives and in our hearts. And then 2 songs in, we stop and make announcements. Or 3 songs in, we stop and make announcements, or 3 songs in after a call to worship and 3 songs, and a heartfelt prayer, and maybe a moving video. Then I get up and then try to transition from that with announcements into the sermon. At the end, we don't want people to leave on announcements. So there's just no good time to make announcements. And so if you're a regular attender or a covenant partner with Crossroads, here is my encouragement to you to use the weekly announcements that you get by email, by Facebook group, by Facebook page, by church center message, or through the QR code. Use those to read and stay connected to the body. We try to drive new things up toward the top, and and then things that are there that maybe you've seen several times, but a new person hasn't seen, we drive those toward the bottom. So again, I want you to know how we think and why we think that way, why we do what we do, why we repeat things, why we put things out on so many different platforms. There really, really, really is a reason for that, and why we do Facebook Lives. Again, not every Facebook Live is going to be announcements. I've got 5 different subjects I want to talk to you about this week, and I've got them all listed here in front of me, and I really want to talk to you about all of them today, but I'm not going to. So yeah, just wanted to give you kind of those updates, and then here's an announcement this morning, all right, or this afternoon. There were many of you that were out of town yesterday. We had a great Sunday yesterday, by the way. I'll talk about that tomorrow, maybe. But many of you were out of town. You were visiting family, or some of you had to leave right after the service. You had an obligation, Easter lunch to get to. And we totally understand that. But if your children did not get an Easter bag, so we did the Easter egg hunt after the Easter egg hunt, which again, it's an Easter egg gathering. It's really not a hunt. But the Easter bag full of candy and goodies and things, we gave them that plus the prizes that they got from the eggs. But if your child if you weren't here yesterday or you had to leave early and your child did not get a bag of goodies, please come by the church and grab one. We have extras. We prepared 100 bags just because you don't want to run out. And so we do have some left over. And so while supplies last, parents, if your kids did not get one of those, you can come up and get one while supplies last. For those of you that are middle school, high school, or you have a middle schooler or high schooler that was not here or left without a bag, we've got a bag for you while supplies last. There's not very many of those, but there are some. So we'd love to have those for you. If you have children that are nursery age, like our toddlers, we ran out of those bags, those cute little crocheted bunnies that were made. The crocheted bunny holding the cross, super cute. We ran out of those. We actually had 14 babies here yesterday, and 2 of them went home without those little bunnies. I felt terrible when I found that out, but they still went home with a baggie full of stuff. So we're excited about that. But yeah, so either come by and get them, or give Bonnie a call. Drop a comment in the comments below this video here, and tag Bonnie in it. But let Bonnie know that you want to you want to come by and get a bag, or you want it reserved for your kids for Sunday. Just let us know. We'll get a name on a bag for you. Sarah Littrell just posted. Sarah actually is the one that made those crocheted bunnies with holding the cross, and so she said she's willing to make more. So we've got a mother out there whose 2 little ones did not get those. So we'll pair you guys up and see if that's an opportunity waiting to happen. All right, I've taken a lot of time. Hopefully that was helpful. I know a lot of you are already connected, but hopefully that was helpful. We've got several other things coming up this week that I want to announce to you, or want to make you aware, or need to get you engaged in, but I'll wait for another video for that one. But thanks for spending some time with me. Hopefully it was helpful. And maybe if you've been here a long time, maybe you went, now I get why they do that. Yeah, because there are just people that they only get things through a video, or they will not watch a video, one of the two. They don't want to read a lot of writing, or they want an email, or they want a text, or we try to hit it all. And sometimes that just takes a lot of time. And for those that receive all those things, that can be a little annoying. I introduce you to one of my friends. His name is Delete. And so if you get this on multiple venues, you are welcome to delete it somewhere or scroll past. Learn to use that finger. You don't have to read everything if you got it 4 times. But what we're hoping is that if you receive it 4 times, maybe you'll read at least one of them. That's the hope. So anyway, Crossroads, I hope you're having a fantastic Resurrection Weekend Monday. That can be, I know pastors experience Resurrection Sunday blues. It has not hit me this week. Yesterday was just such a phenomenal day, and we're so thankful for it. So anyway, we love you guys, and hopefully this was helpful and useful to you as you get more and more connected here within the Crossroads body. We'll see you soon later this week through another live video. Bye.